Hello audio fans, welcome to a brand new series called Tom's Radio Reviews. Today we're talking about the Radio 4 Classic, if that's the correct word. Is that the word you use, kids? Word. If you don't know what Radio 4 is, if you're outside of the UK, Radio 4 is our radio station that does no music, only speaking vocals. So, Just a Minute. Just a Minute is a panel show on Radio 4 that has ventured into TV twice, or more than twice. I only know about the twice, but I'll talk about that at the end of the video. So, what is Just a Minute? Just a Minute is a panel show where panellists have 1 minute to talk on a subject. Nicholas Parson used to host it until 2020 when he sadly passed away, and then Sue Perkins, a Bake Off host, has now took over and now runs Just a Minute. Now, Just a Minute is let's take it from a 2022 standpoint from the new series. So, not as a reference from the new series, just want to use Sue Perkins as an example because it's a modern example. Sue Perkins would say bananas, and Alan Davis and Paul Merton, who's on every episode. Paul Merton then has a minute to talk about bananas without hesitation, deviation, repetition. So if I say, so you can say bananas more than once, that's alright, but if I said, I went to the shop and bought a banana, but it was £4 in that shop, someone else can then buzz in and go, brr, you said shop twice, and I'll go, oh yes I did, and then they've got whatever time's remaining to talk about the bananas. And if they said, well, brr, he said, well, he went, deviation. Do you get my drift now? So, that's Just a Minute. Now, I like it as a radio show because it works really well over radio. But, in 1998, I think, they did a TV version. And they were like, no. The set looked absolutely incredible. The set was amazing. It's the best set on a TV version ever. It was really good. It worked really well. And I liked it. But it didn't work well with the audience. So obviously it got cancelled and they kept it on the radio because it works better for your ears rather than for your eyes because there's not a lot going on visually. It's all going on in here. I thought about this. I was going to say, well, things like that don't work on TV because of the visual stuff. And I remembered QI, my favourite panel show. So that actually works really well with the visuals. And it wouldn't work well as an audio. The Museum of Curiosity sort of works, but that's a separate video for a separate day. Now, Just a Minute has been running for nearly 60 years. It's incredible. It's got a fantastic lineup, so newer comedians are now going on it, like Jalise Aponda, probably mispronounced his name horrifically, a Britain's Got Talent contestant that has received more success after him being on the show. I don't think he won his series, but he has seen a credible amount of success. We've had Sandy Toksvig on it millions of times, Paul Merton's on every episode, and Sue Perkins was a guest on the show before she became the host. And it works really well. It's all working really well. And I actually, I'll tell you this, I like it so much that when Audible had one of the series, I used my Audible credit to get the series. Because I want to listen to, so you can listen to the modern run, like the Sue Perkins run from this series on BBC Sounds if you're in the UK. Not sure if you're out of the UK where you can listen to it. If you want to listen to the back catalogue, there is some on YouTube. The TV versions are on YouTube. What else? If you're in the UK, I only know about the UK variant. But if you're in the UK, you can listen to the Nicholas Parson era on Audible in the UK. Now, anyone outside the UK, if it's available, let me know in the comment section down below because then you can help other people find it. So I'm not too sure about International Audible if it's the same. But Radio 4 BBC put it on there. It's amazing. I would highly recommend it. Now, would I want to do Just a Minute? Yes, I would. Obviously I just need to build up in my comedy, then I could go on Just a Minute. or I can create my own version of Just a Minute where it's the same sort of concept, so everything has to be done within a minute, and you have to do a whole it's this brand new program, brand new things, but all of it is within that minute. But that minute makes you panic, makes you forget, makes you think, and so Just a Minute is amazing. Highly recommend it. This video is going to be these videos are going to be improved over time. Won't show you any clips because I'm not too sure about the copyrightness of BBC Sounds, and I'm not too sure where I can find a clip where I might not get copyrighted because I don't want copyright. Theme tune, hopefully you enjoy it. It's going to stay like that for a little bit whilst I develop a new one. I quite like Just a Minute. It works really well. It's one of those shows that entertain you whilst you're driving. It's normally at about 6 PM, so it's like if you're working, you'll be driving home listening to it, or if you've got it on catch 'em, you're listening to it whenever, and it's on Audible, so you'll be listening to it whenever. It works really well. Paul Merton, who does the TV show Have I Got News For You, also does this, and it works so well. If they did Taskmaster on the radio, it wouldn't work. Some things work really well on radio, some things don't, vice versa. So Just a Minute didn't work well for the audience numbers they wanted, and in 2016 I don't think it worked really well. I prefer the 90s version of how it looked set wise and well, mainly set wise because that's the only thing that they changed, and I do think that that type of thing just doesn't work that well on TV. If you try it again now, it might work amazingly. But right now, in my opinion, I don't think it works really well for TV, but it works really well on the radio. Some panel shows on the radio might work really well on TV. The Museum of Curiosity would work really well. Hesse, the Victoria Cora Mitchell show would work really well. Tim Vine chat show would work. Actual Age. Genius did work. Genius was Dave Gorman's radio panel show that worked really well, that lasted for ages on TV. So some things work, some things don't, but Just a Minute, it's the best home for Just a Minute is on the radio. Even though if the radio's not around in 10-15 years, bring it back. If audio content is still wanted by people, put it on there. It works really well. It's better on audio than on TV. If we lose radio completely and we can only have all the radio shows have to be converted to TV or else they get deleted and gone and you'll never hear them again, then fill your boots, go and do it, because we want Just a Minute. But it works so well on TV. I mean, for me it worked really well on TV, but the audience numbers didn't. But it works, it's amazing on radio. The best guest is Paul Merton. He's amazing on it each time. Richard Herring worked very well. We didn't do very well on it. I'll find out what episode he's on and I'll probably do a whole review on certain guests. Like what panel show did they work better on, and yeah. So leave your recommendations for other radio panel shows, sitcoms, whatever you want in the comment section down below. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and remember, make sure you listen to more audio. Get out there and explore the world of audio.